Bitcoin is pumping because Donald Trump just announced what everyone has been waiting for, a strategic crypto reserve. This is the biggest event in crypto history, but there is a big catch because this is about crypto and not Bitcoin. And here in this crypto reserve, just imagine, there is no Bitcoin included. The internet is completely collapsing. People are the biggest shitcoiners except themselves, wondering what's going on with Donald Trump, why Bitcoin isn't included here. We have cryptocurrencies like Solana, XRP, and ADA here, but we have not included Bitcoin. And that makes absolutely no sense because Bitcoin is the superior reserve currency here. Everything else is shitcoins. They are gambles. They are things that are maybe cool projects and you can do some kind of gimmicks with them. And yes, it may have some cool, let's say, use cases, but the point here is to build prosperity for generations. You need a solid store of value here. And I think the entire crypto industry, including shitcoin, all agree that Bitcoin is the optimal store of value. And yes, as far as I'm concerned, we can discuss a crypto reserve also with other altcoins and shitcoins and such. But one thing has to be clear, Bitcoin has to be the flagship here, which is also included in this crypto reserve. And now we're taking a look at this. It's all still brand new, so it's all still hot off the press. This is just a Truth Social post from Donald Trump where he confirmed this. There aren't too many details yet, but there are a few we can look at. We'll also check out the reactions and see how this could all play out and why this is still good for Bitcoin. We're seeing it too, the market has gone up for now. Bitcoin has made a move up for now. Of course, the other cryptocurrencies like Ripple, ADA, and Solana have gone up a lot more. Now everyone is already assuming, hey, the bottom is in, we've seen the bottom, and now it can only go up from here. Many were still unsure, okay, is it going to drop again and so on. But this is definitely a massive catalyst. We need to wait and see if this is a massive catalyst for Bitcoin. But normally, this is also an opening for Bitcoin. But hey folks, let's check out what Donald Trump just tweeted. And that's really amazing. You can already see it up there in the comment. How can anyone still be bearish right now? This is really amazing, but especially amazing for the altcoins. Someone's already saying that the altcoin season is confirmed now because up until now, there hasn't really been a proper altcoin season. So it could be that the massive shitcoin show is about to kick off. So let's take a look at what Donald Trump has posted here on Truth Social. He writes here, a U.S. crypto reserve will strengthen this important industry after it has been attacked for years by the corrupt Biden administration. So that's true, Biden has been going after the crypto industry for years, going after Bitcoin, going after everything. And Donald Trump wants to make a statement first. He wants to say, hey no, enough with all the corruption, we want to open up now, we don't want to hide from technology and stuff anymore. And this is already sounding really, really good. Now we need to keep looking at what else he's saying. That's why my executive order on digital assets directed the Presidential Working Group to move forward with the creation of a strategic crypto reserve. And now it still all sounds good. You might think, okay, a strategic crypto reserve, now there's an executive order. So from what I understand, he's signing your executive order. So the executive order is probably not signed yet, but he will sign it later. At least that's how I understand it. Everything here is still super fresh or brand new, so we'll have to see how it all gets rolling, how it will actually kick off. For sure, now here comes the big news. Now he's writing here, yes, the crypto reserve is coming and it will include XRP, Solana, and ADA. And now everyone's thinking, XRP, Solana, ADA, something's missing here. Isn't Bitcoin missing from that? Yeah, Bitcoin is clearly not included in this tweet. This is about XRP, Solana, and ADA. And Donald Trump also announced it beforehand. He said that the reserve will include projects that are based here in America, or he didn't say especially, but that's the gist of it. And that's why there's no Ethereum or anything like that included, just projects that come from America. He wants to support the USA, and maybe Bitcoin is too decentralized since it doesn't really have a foundation or anything like that. So he's just going with other projects. And now there are a ton of speculations about why this is happening, why XRP, Solana, and ADA are included here. So many people assume that Donald Trump simply has no know-how and would simply give bad advice, just like with his meme coin, which he then racked up and so on, that Donald Trump is not really in control here, but that he is simply influenced here by Garlinghouse and the XRP gang and so on, let's say through lobbying. And there were also meetings with the XRP people, Donald Trump and so on, and there was very probably a lot of influence here too. And of course they have a vested interest because the thing is, with Bitcoin there is no foundation or anything like that that is just pouring money into it to bribe politicians. So what's going on with other crypto projects in the US is that they also like to do some lobbying. They go to politicians and say, hey, what's up? Can we make a deal here? How about we set up a strategic XRP reserve or something? In any case, the tweet goes on to say, I will make sure the USA becomes the crypto capital of the world. We will make America great again. And that is a very, very questionable part here in his tweet or in his post on Truth Social. He wants to make the USA the crypto capital, but how the hell, please write to me in the comments, how the hell can you be a crypto capital if you don't have Bitcoin included in your strategic reserve? So that's a total mystery to me because Bitcoin is always the front player here. So everyone is pretty much on the same page about this. Often with the shitcoin gamble stuff, a lot of these shitcoiners, their only goal is basically to increase their Bitcoin stack. Then you go into altcoin seasons, then you go into shitcoins, into ADA, XRP, Ripple, or whatever. But in the long term, it's about shifting the gains back into Bitcoin because everyone knows that in 10 years, in 15 years, Bitcoin will probably still survive. But with ADA, with Solana, with Ripple, and things like that, we're not so sure. Could still be around in 10 years, so I don't want to badmouth it or anything. It's possible that all of this still exists, but you're definitely safest when you go with Bitcoin. It's kind of like gold in the physical world. It's a very established thing, and it's really hard for it to just fall apart at some point, especially because there's that massive network effect. And it's the same with Bitcoin. There's that massive network effect, and there are certain qualities that other cryptocurrencies just don't have. We need to go through that again. Bitcoin is decentralized, it is censorship resistant, it has no foundation, there is no group behind it, there is no leader behind it. It is really a project that also has no pre-mine or anything like that. With Ripple or something like that, there was a big pre-mine at the beginning and the Ripple Foundation, which sells its Ripple coins or its XRP tokens all the time in order to finance itself again, which is not necessarily a bad thing, that's okay. But if you have decentralized money that's independent of the state, that's separate state and money, that is decentralized and has qualities that no other project has, that means Bitcoin sets itself apart from these projects. And that's why it's so important to include Bitcoin. And now we're actually going to take a look at some comments because, man, the internet is just going wild. And like I said, this is all still pretty new and fresh. There might be more information coming up in the next few hours. Here, the hero says, what the heck? This can't be happening. At the Bitcoin conference, they're saying we need to educate Donald Trump better. This can't be right. This is not good. We need to support him better. He needs more help. We just need to explain to them what the difference is. Here, the news is being hyped up big time at Bitcoin News, but there's no mention of Bitcoin. And then there's a question mark or like a thinking emoji, and then it's like, we are definitely going higher, but not very happy about this. So here they're saying, hey, this is going to make the Bitcoin price explode, but we're not happy about it because what Donald Trump is doing makes absolutely no sense. Then here, breaking news, President Donald Trump announces a crypto strategic reserve. Where is Bitcoin in this? Where the hell is Bitcoin? And there are even shitcoin writers here. Well, Didi Taihutu writes that. So yes, he also does a lot with shitcoins, I think. Well, I don't know him personally, but he does believe in Bitcoin only, but he also does shitcoin stuff, and that's exactly what I mean. It's not just the Bitcoiners who find that weird. Even the shitcoiners think it's strange. Here, James Van Straten writes, the F is it, so I'm not allowed to say the word now, but you can see it here. I don't know if you get censored here on YouTube if you say that word. Then here, simply Bitcoin, this has to be fake, right? And that's something exciting too. Could this whole thing be fake? Could someone have hacked his account and could someone be pretending to be Donald Trump? We've seen this before with the SEC, where someone faked the account because they had a massive incentive. Just think about it, all the people who have Ripple coins or Solana coins or ADA coins or something like that, they have the massive incentive to hack Donald Trump's account, pump the coin up once, and then do a rug pull. I mean, conspiracy theory, but if someone were to actually hack Donald Trump's account and he's invested in crypto, it's pretty clear that he'd buy in first, fill his pockets, and then he'd have hacked the account. What's he going to do next? He's saying, hey guys, I just bought these 3 coins, and now he takes the Donald Trump account and says, hey folks, let's go, it's happening now. The strategic ADA, the strategic XRP and Ripple, and whatever other reserves are coming now. Solana reserve, it's all coming. And then, of course, the price skyrockets. I checked it out beforehand, and I think Solana was up like 30% or something in the first 10 minutes or so. And then you just take out all the profits with a massive leverage position. And then, okay, maybe eventually the account will get locked again after 3, 4, 5, or 6 hours or something. You sell all your coins, cash in those profits, and then you might also lose access to the account. Then Donald Trump says, oh, sorry, it was all just a hack. And at the same time, you set up short positions, and then it goes down, and you make money again on the way down. So that's just one of many conspiracy theories floating around right now because a lot of people just can't make sense of it. I mean, how can this be? Drop your explanations in the comments below. I can't explain it myself. There was another conspiracy theory that I noticed right away, and it popped into my head immediately. Maybe it could be a tactic to confuse other countries, like secretly buying Bitcoin or quietly filling their pockets. That would be another possibility. I mean, I don't know if that's the case, but the whole hacking thing sounds more plausible to me right now, even though I can't confirm it, and honestly, I don't want to believe it because a president's account is usually pretty well secured. So it's really, really hard to assess the whole thing. It's just crazy how unpredictable Donald Trump is. So he does things that really make you shake your head. I mean, I don't know how people come up with stories like this. And now there's another interesting consideration behind all of this. So we need to look at this on a larger scale geopolitically. That is, what is China thinking here? What is Russia thinking here? And so on. How will this all play out internationally, let's say, and what is the game theory behind it? So if we had a strategic Bitcoin reserve, there definitely would have been nation-state FOMO kicking in. Russia, China, and so on would have likely started accumulating Bitcoin massively and making it public if they aren't already doing it behind the scenes. But what kind of signal is this to China and Russia? They're laughing their heads off here. They may have already prepared themselves indirectly, or other countries may be preparing themselves, building up some Bitcoin reserves behind the scenes or something like that. And now they're just cracking up, thinking, wow, Donald Trump really doesn't get it at all. We thought he actually got it, but he just doesn't get it at all. He's creating a shitcoin reserve, and that is not something that competes in any other country or anything like that, because it is simply a different signal to the market if you create a Bitcoin reserve here than if you create a shitcoin reserve here. And I don't think that it will trigger some kind of nation-state FOMO or something like that, because I can hardly imagine Russia saying, oh look, Donald Trump has bought ADA here. Come on, let's buy ADA here too, or we'll buy lots of Solana and Ripple coins here and so on. I simply can't imagine it. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong. Then feel free to write it to me in the comments. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong, but I don't see the nation-state FOMO kicking in here, that other nations will suddenly start buying loads of shitcoins. I simply don't see that, because not everyone is on the same page as Donald Trump, because I'm also relatively sure that, for example, other nations are really doing their research too. Maybe they're already ahead of the US, having done their homework and gone through the shitcoin phase. They're realizing that, hey, we just need Bitcoin, and maybe we can mix in some shitcoin stuff for about 10%, but that can't be the main component. But it could also be that what happens to almost every individual is now happening on a state level, where each country goes through its own shitcoin phase. Just like you might have gone through your shitcoin phase, and many others have too, even some big personalities have gone through it. Now, Donald Trump has to go through his shitcoin phase as well. So it's a really exciting story, but hey, if you want to buy some Bitcoin, I'll drop a link below to 21 Bitcoin, where you can easily, safely, and simply buy Bitcoin. So you might be able to distance yourself a bit from Donald Trump here. We need to keep an eye on whether this is good for Bitcoin in the long run. I'm thinking it could potentially be good for Bitcoin, even if it feels a bit disappointing and just really strange right now. As I mentioned, with the code Bitcoin Hotel at 21 Bitcoin for buying Bitcoin, you can get up to 20% off the fees when purchasing Bitcoin. And if you want to secure your Bitcoin as much as possible, I'll also drop a link below to a TREZOR hardware wallet, which I believe is the best way to protect your Bitcoin from hackers, theft, or any exploding exchanges or anything like that. Everyone should have a hardware wallet to be self-sovereign. With the code Bitcoin Hotel, you also get 10% off the purchase of one of those hardware wallets. All right, folks, I'm signing off. See you later. Peace out.